What up guys, ThatzNOTmetal here bringing this updates and purchases number 26, part 3. Now this is the third and final installment of updates and purchases number 26, and as I said, it's going to lead on to updates and purchases 27 next week, just before Christmas. Now, this one, I gave you a little clue in my last updates and purchases number 1, and I believe number 2, I could be wrong, but the reference was the subtitle that was going to be for this video, and the reference was "The Axeman is back." Now, I'd like to thank all the one person who left a comment on my video and guessed what the reference was. And it was my good buddy Evanalanjones from Thrash Till Death Studios and his band Your Next. Links in the description, check both of those out, really good stuff. But I'll have a bit more of a mention on him in a later video, so keep an eye out for that one. But anyway, the Axeman reference was indeed a reference to a guitar player, which is a widely known term. So, and is back is basically a reference to I'm back to doing guitar videos. So, I have 4 new instruments. Yes, not 1, not 2. Not 3, but 4 new guitars to show you. I've got a 7-string, I've got a 6-string, I've got a 4-string bass and a 5-string bass to show you. So we've got a lot to get through, so stick around and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get on with it. What up guys? Right, now this is the first guitar we're going to be talking about, and this is the 7-string. But first, a little bit of a backstory behind it. Back in, I think we're talking 2013, so quite a while back-ish. Anyway, back around Christmas time, 2013, I was looking to get rid of my Jackson that I had, the DK MG. It was a really nice guitar, don't get us wrong, it just didn't feel comfortable on me. It was a great instrument, but I just didn't feel a love for it, so I opted to get rid of it and get myself a new instrument. And I was looking, and then it came to about Christmas time, it came to Christmas, and my older brother that being, got himself this 7-string Ibanez. And he got it for Christmas, and after about 2 to 3 weeks, I think it was, he decided to go ahead and sell it. He just didn't like it. He never really got into 7-strings and stuff, but I was really into them, so I was like, mate, I'll swap you and me Jackson for the Ibanez. I'm sure you get about the same amount of money, and he did, and there and behold, today I have this guitar, and I've had it for about, as I said, about nearly 2 years now, or going on 2 years. And this is an Ibanez RG7321 FM. Now, obviously, the FM, it stands for Flame Maple, as you can see by that finish. Gorgeous. Yep. As you know, quite rightfully, if you're a 7-string player, the RG7321 guitars are one of the most desirable 7-strings on the market, known for their likability, playability, tone, the lot, especially for value for money. They are astounding instruments, and I've played a 7321, normal one, great instruments as well, but the ultimate one for me has always been the FM. And I never thought that I would own one, because, in all honesty, they are quite a hard guitar to come across. I have never ever seen one in the store, or even been played live with a band. I've just seen them on the Ibanez website, And I thought, that's a really nice guitar. And then when my brother brought this over one day, I was just like, shit, man, you are one lucky duck. Well, duck, devil, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, but as soon as I got my hands on it, I knew instantly that this was a much more comfortable choice. That wasn't. But anyway, it was a lot more comfortable for me because I'd played a couple of 7-strings and really found myself a lot more at home with a 7-string than I did with a 6-string for some reason at the time. I guess I was just into the heavier, you know, chugs, you know, slam sort of stuff. But with the ability to have the 7-string on there tuned down to A, you know, and then having the standard E tuning below, it just made a lot more sense to me when playing a guitar, if you know what I'm saying, if you're a guitar player. But yeah, what can I say about this guitar? Rosewood fingerboard, 24 frets, a really nice thin neck, which I've played a couple of 7-strings in the past, and the Ibanez necks are always the best. They've got such a thin profile to them, really comfortable, especially when you're doing like faster riffs and stuff like that. But also, it's quite a not very tall neck, so the string spacing's quite nice and free flowing, if you know what I mean. Yeah, what more else can I say? Really nice 5-piece neck, really holds the tone very well, especially with the bolt on action down here, and you can get all the way access to that 24 frets very easily. It's very accessible. I'm not much of a lead player, well, I'm not even a lead player myself, but from what I've heard of mates coming around and having a jam on this thing and sweeping and all that shit, it sounds really good, especially on the neck pickup setting, but I'll get to the pickups in a second. The only downside to this guitar when I got it was a couple of just little things, a couple of dins, one particular here, another one here, and there's another one somewhere, I'm sure. I can't remember where it is off the top of my head, but yeah, those two dings never bothered me. I mean, I've seen old school Stratocasters look worse for wear. But the one thing that does annoy us is the fact is on the 18th fret on the wait a minute, where are we? On your 5th, 6th and 7th string down the bottom, down the top, should we just say, whatever you want to call it, there's some like frets, like dings. It's like someone with roid rage has just put on a massive fuck off bend and dug right into the guitar. You won't be able to see it, so I'm not even going to try, but there's two on those strings, but on the high E, you've got one on the 17th fret, which does add a little bit of a annoying note to it, especially, I think it's the 18th, when you're playing like that note, and you go a fret up, or fret down, I can't remember which one it is, it makes the same note, and it is fucking annoying. But the only thing I really do use like the higher register for is just like just discords, kind of old school hardcore kind of vibes, you know. Well, not old school hardcore, you know, chaotic hardcore sort of stuff. But yeah, I've got this tune to drop here, and especially with the pickups that are in this, which are, if you can see, they are Seymour Duncan Blackouts, kind of rivalries to AMGs, the AMG 87 and, well, 87 and the 707, which, I think it's 87, I could be wrong on that, but, yeah, but the Seymour Duncans, they definitely have, compared to the AMGs where I had in me Jackson, these seem to have a bit more of a crunchier, more monstrous tone, especially when it comes to the, like both of the guitars were in drop A and this one's in drop A, and you can definitely feel more of a crunch when you're playing, I know I'm only using a Line 6 Spider, but you can just feel a bit more crunch to it. feel more of a bite, more of a crunch vibe to it. It sounds a bit more monstrous if you ask me, especially when you gentle it up. Genting it up, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, really awesome guitar. Simple volume, tone, 3-way pickup selector, and as I said, I'm not a lead player, so I don't usually use the neck position, I just use the bridge position. Active guitar, really punchy, extremely fun to play with, and definitely comfortable to play as well. If you're in towards getting a 7-string, I'd recommend any of the RG. I think it's 421s they're onto now. I could be wrong on that, but the 7321s, 321 FMs, all of them are great instruments. And if you want to upgrade to a 7-string, go with Ibanez, especially one of these. So yeah, really nice guitar and definitely recommend it. So yeah, let's move on to the next instrument, which is my 6-string, which is this one. Now this one is going to have a bit more of a bit of detail to it, because this is a custom guitar theory. But anyway, this is a Les Paul shaped guitar, which was built by my older brother as like a project that he wanted to do, and this is what he created. The base of the guitar, like the shape and body and neck, is from a, if I'm not mistaken, a Legends Les Paul. I could be wrong on that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a Les Paul shape. And basically, he had a Epiphone SG that me and him loved, that he owned. It was one of the best guitars he's ever owned. And sadly, the neck got a crack about here on his SG, and he couldn't use it. Wouldn't tune, wouldn't stay in tune, so he decided to get rid of it. So sold bits of it as parts and kept a few bits of it to stick on this guitar, like the machine heads, the bridge, and I believe even the electronics were from the SG. I could be wrong on that, but the rest of it is all his doing, what he's managed to put together. What have we got here? We've got single Seymour Duncan pickup down here, which as you know from the 7-string, I'm really enjoying Seymour Duncans, but this one has a bit more of a tighter, more brighter kind of tone to it, but still has that kind of nice barky growl to it, on the chugs especially. I mean, tempting to play Machine Head there. Anyway, but yeah, really nice tone to it. Very nice. I kind of like to dial back the drive on the Line 6 a little bit. Give us kind of like a southern sludge kind of tone, like a. Like that, for example. But anyway, moving on to other details. As you can see, the neck position is being filled in with, I don't know if you can see very well, some little beads, some little green beads, and he's obviously got the pickup kind of colour matched, which I think looks pretty sick. And you got one volume, all the other volume and the two tones have all been filled in with I don't even know what the hell they are. And same for the pickup selector, same thing. I don't know if you can tell in this light, but it's kind of like a really dark, like a nightshade purple kind of ordeal going down. It really makes the green pop out and look wow, if you know what I mean. And then you flip it over, you've got the electronics back here with a plastic cover on it, which exposes the colours of the wires, which will obviously match the pickups and the knob on the front. Same for the pickup selector, but he's filled out with beans. Beads. What the fuck am I on about? But yeah, looks pretty cool. And a little bit of a final touch, I might as well show these off. These kind of like anchors, basically, are proper screwed in, because he got this inspiration from Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. And basically, you get one of these hooks on your strap, and you just clip it on, easy as that. Those basically not come out at all. You need to proper wrench them out. So there's a bit of security there, so you know your straps are going to be there all the time. And you can, if you want to multitask with your guitars, you can take it off, strap it on your new one. It's all sorted. So yeah, that's that. What more else can I say about it? It's a passive pickups, this one, and that probably adds to the clarity to it a bit more. 22 frets on this one. I think this one is an ebony fingerboard. It's kind of a lot more darker than the one on the Ibanez. But I mainly use this one in drop C, because in my opinion drop C is like one of the best tunings out there. In fact, I think it is my favourite tuning of all. It just has that grit for the slow, the slow, stuff, the chugs. How's that? And then you get what I mean. It's got a lot of that tuning, if you ask me. But yeah, this is a really nice guitar. Really awesome to play. I've played this in the practice room a few times when my old band Manquerdo was kind of thinking about getting back together and stuff like that with me on guitar, and I was going to use this, but that didn't come of anything. But still, I do play this a lot, and it's definitely a really nice guitar to play. A few of my guitar players that I know, I've had a go at this, and so it's a really nice instrument, especially the value that I got for it. I bought this off my older brother for, I think, between 100, 120 quid, something like that, and it's definitely been worth it. Really awesome guitar, and definitely something that I would recommend you try if you ever see it and want to have a go of it. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on to the basses now. I've got two new basses, and this one could take a while, but we'll have to see. So moving on to the basses. And the first one is, and we're on to the next one. This is the first bass we're going to be talking about, but first a little bit of a backstory. A while back, I was looking to sell my Ibanez SR300. Quite simply, same reason as the Jackson pretty much, but it just wasn't my type of guitar. It was great. You know, honestly, it's one of the best instruments I've ever owned, and I'm so thankful for it, because it's taught us a lot, that instrument, about what I like and love about basses and whatnot. And in all honesty, I just couldn't fall in love with it, and then I couldn't find anyone to buy it off us, and one day I decided to pop into Cash Converters in Sunderland, and I saw this bad lad on the wall, which I was like, ooh, Warwick, I've never tried them, but I've always wanted to try them. So I picked it up, I asked them, can I have a go, and they said they didn't have an amp, so I was like, oh, I'll play it just acoustically. And I was just playing away with it. I didn't have a pick at my hands, and I wasn't really much of a finger player, so I was just playing some random shit like Metallica and shit like that. That's obviously wrong, but whatever. I was just jamming away, and I really felt a good connection with it. The neck was really nice. The pickups, they're kind of like the same, like bar kind of pickups that are on the Yamaha that I have. So I was quite interested when playing it, and it was quite nice to play. in all honesty. And then I was like, oh, I've got to sell me SR300, so I was looking, and then about 2 weeks later, something like that, my uncle decided to buy me Ibanez offers, and I was like, great, I've got the cash now. So I rushed down to Cash Converters, and yeah, the bass had sold, and I was gutted. I had 100+ quid on us, and had nothing to spend it on, so I was quite gutted. So I went and did what I normally do and spend it all on CDs and t-shirts. So with that being said, I was about a month had passed after that, maybe 6 weeks or something like that. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pop the Cash Converters again and see what I can find. And I looked, and the bass was there again, and I was like, what the hell? So I asked one of the one of the people there, and they said that a guy put a deposit down on it but didn't pay it off. So I was like, oh, his loss is my win. Here's my money. So I put my deposit down, and after about, I think 2 months, something like that, maybe a month and a half, I now own the bass itself. It's a, as you can read by the headstock, a Warwick rock bass Corvette 4-string, which I've now owned, as I said, roughly about maybe 2 years now, and honestly, I have never ever laid my hands on a better 4-string in all my life. This is screaming quality. The profile of the neck is perfect. It's I'm not kidding you though, it is a better profile neck than the Yamaha and the ESP, and the Ibanez's was just too small, but this is like mid between there. It's got a bit of a beef to it, but it's just right for when you're playing stuff. It's fantastic. 24 frets again, but obviously I'm not a lead player on guitar, and I hate lead notes on bass all the way down here. I think it's annoying. But anyway, but when I got home and tried it in an amp, I found out it was an active bass and there was no battery in it. So I rushed out, got a battery, and came back, and I started playing just some. And I was just like, oh my god, tone, just sheer fucking tone. Really bright tone when I first plugged it in, but after working at it, I like a bit more of a rumble behind my tone. I hate clankiness, like, I hate that noise, but after working with it, I love this tone, it's fantastic. But yeah, one more can I say, I've got this tune to, what tune have I've got it in drop D, because I want to use this more in my band Science Fiction, because we play in drop D, but I'll come more to that in another video, and with my next instrument, because there's something about that as well. But I like to use this one for Science Fiction, just when playing stuff. I mean, I'm still trying to get used to it, because I'm used to my 5-string that I use, and that's what I was going to say before. But like, there's a bass solo in one of the songs, so. One of the bass solos in the songs that I wrote, and yeah, I struggled to play this for so long after using the 5-string for quite a while, but honestly, MEC pickups, awesome pickups, as I say, really give us the nice tone I'm after, really nice neck, the Warwick bridge keeps this, and the machine heads keep this beast in tune all the time. I mean, it's been probably about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since I last tuned this bad lad, and when I came to tune it just before this video, it was only a little bit out, and I was really surprised, because the new strings that I only put on about a month ago. So yeah, I'm really happy with this instrument, and it only kind of fueled what was going to be my next move when it came to buying a new instrument. And I knew instantly that I wanted something that was a Warwick. And there and behold, we arrive at this instrument, which this one has a little bit of a backstory, just a little one. As you know, recently I got myself my first ever paid job. And one of the things, besides obviously CDs and band merch and stuff, I really wanted to get something that was going to be worthwhile. And one of them was a new instrument. And I didn't really want a new electric, so I decided to get a new bass. And I started to kind of label the options what I wanted. Obviously the first one, primarily for me, was I wanted a 5-string. Because I've owned a 6-string in the past, which was, if for those who don't know, I owned an Ibanez GSR 206, which I couldn't play for living shit, as some of you remember by my old videos. But that was the first option, because I'd never owned a 5-string, but I'd owned quite a few 4-strings, and a 6-string, but never a 5-string, so that was the main one. I wanted specifically a Warwick Corvette, because I loved the 4-string that much, and I still love it that much. I wanted something with that extended range, low B, low A, whatever you want to call it, depending on what tuning you're in, obviously. That 5-string Warwick Corvette, something that wasn't plain when it came to the paint. I didn't want something plain black, plain white, or anything like that. I wanted something unique, and if possible, something passive. And then my mate, Sean Payne, Unknown Affliction, link down below, check him out. He recommended that I check out the website called Thomann, which is I believe a German website, and he said, check on there, great prices, great gear. So I looked on there, and they had the exact bass I was looking for, and it was £666, the most money I've spent on a bass. Now, I might as well add their prices change like every couple of days. I think it's just with the money exchange rate, I don't know. But I could have got it for a lower price, and I could have got it for a high price, but I got it for 660, which I was more than happy to pay for. And then a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks later, got a phone call, packages arrived at my grand's, and I went, and this was the instrument that I pulled out of that very box. This is the Warwick Rock Bass Corvette 5-string double buck. And that was one of the other things that I forgot to mention that I was looking for, was I wanted to try the double buck pickups, because personally, from whatever record I've heard that they've been on, they've always had more of a punch than any other pickup on the market, if you ask me. And there and behold, this is the instrument that I bought. And what more can I say? This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the sheer best bass and best guitar, period. I've played a lot of 7-strings, really nice 7-strings and whatever, and I've played even Gibson guitars, and Fender basses, Squier basses, Spectres, ESPs, the lot. I've had a go of all of them, pretty much all the big name brands, but Warwick's company is just the best. I couldn't praise them enough for the quality that they give for every instrument, especially this one. It just feels so comfortable. It's such a really nice neck, and surprisingly, I don't know why, but this one seems to feel a lot more thinner than the 4-string for some reason, and it's a 5-piece neck with some thin. I can't remember what me and the old guitarist in my band we were discussing this, and we can't remember which wood it is in the middle there, keeping it all together. Bolt-on neck, passive pickups, and 5 strings, and I've got this at the moment tuned to drop A, because I use this for my solo project Norsons, which is also linked down below, which I'm still working on some material at the moment, but it has a really nice nice round off tuning for the heaviness and stuff like that. What more can I say? Oh yeah, I've also been known to put this in drop D, weirdly enough, with a low A on top, because in science fiction I wanted something with a nice tone to it, and this one, it just felt right to play that stuff. I don't know why, it just feels comfortable when you're playing that. Just that bass solo, it just feels so much fun to play on this thing, and especially with the pickups. And I should have put the volume on. It just feels so nice to play. And the tone is just unbelievable. It's got the near perfect tone what I'm after. I just need to get a nice bass head and cab to use when I'm gigging and stuff, and then I'll be set for the future. As I said, passive pickups, and they are once again MEC pickups. Same sort of tone as the single coil ones that you saw on the four string, but these are definitely my favourite ones, and especially the tone what I've got. You have a volume for each pickup themselves, which is all good, and you've got a tone, but I always have the tone on full myself. But you can also, if I lift it up, you can turn them into single coil pickups, which I quite like the idea of that, and I didn't really know if it made any difference to the tone, but it has, because I personally like to have the bridge pickup muted and the neck pickup on single coil mode and full volume. I don't know why, but it just had a nice kind of just has such a nice tone to it. But yeah, and the passive bass, don't have to change batteries at all, and I don't have to worry about me tone that much. I just know what's going to be there straight away. So yeah, absolutely astounding instrument. I've actually recorded a playthrough video of one of the science fiction songs since I joined the band, which I'm still in the editing process. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but we'll see what happens. But this is without a shadow of doubt the best bass and the best instrument that I've ever laid my hands on. It is perfect. And if you're in the market for a 5-string, this is definitely the one that I'd say. It's great. So yeah. So I'm just gonna put that aside. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, seeing my new instruments at my disposal. I'm hoping next year I can maybe do some covers of sorts, guitar covers and bass covers, because I would like to start getting into that kind of realm, should we just say. But yeah, I'll see you until the next video. Remember to check out all the links that I told you below and some further links in the description. Some cool stuff there for you to check out. And also, I'll see you until updates and purchases number 27, which is coming very soon. And remember, stay metal, and I'll see you next video.